Welcome to Foreign National School. We are interviewing Mary Egan Glynn, who worked upstairs in Clonbrock House. What year were you born?
1925.
What age were you when you left school?
I left school at 14.
What was your first paying job?
Clonbrock.
Do you know anything about Clonbrock House?
Yes, I know several things about Clonbrock House.
Do you want to talk about Clonbrock House now? You worked upstairs.
I did, yeah.
Will you tell us all your memories of that?
I will, yes. I worked upstairs in Clonbrock House. I got up every morning at 6:30 and washed and dressed. You wore a lovely dress, big white apron, white cap. When you were ready, you went downstairs and you opened up all the big curtains and all the windows. And when that was done, you went and cleaned out the fires in the sitting room, the drawing room, the morning room and the library. When that was done, you tidied yourself up and you went to the kitchen and you got Miss Dillon's tray and took it up to her bedroom. That was her morning tray now, cup and saucer and teapot and cream jug, 2 cups of brown bread and butter. And you brought that up to her, to the bedroom. So she always had a little dog in her room with her, in a basket. And I let the dog out for 10 or 15 minutes. So I brought the dog back then again. So then I got her bath ready. Ran her bath, you know, the water, and got it all ready for her. And when that was over then, it was coming up near 9 o'clock. We had our breakfast. And she had her breakfast. So when she had her breakfast over, she came to the kitchen every morning and there was a slate on the big table and chalk, about, you know, that size now, and she wrote on that what was for the dinners every day, what was for the staff and for herself. Breakfast was at 9 o'clock, our lunch was at 1 and her lunch was at 1 and her dinner was at 8 in the evening. And she always dressed for dinner. She had the lady's maid as well. She always dressed for dinner, a lovely dress. And there was another old lady there when I was there too. She was called Miss May Crofton. She was blind. She came from Moat Park in Roscommon. So they dressed for dinner and they came down for dinner at 8 o'clock. So then after that, they went up to their drawing room and went to bed about 11. But she was a lovely lady to work for, and she had a very special visitor for lunch. Would any of you guess now who it would be? You would not. She always had a very special guest for lunch, very, very often. And Father O'Connor in Foden. And every time Father O'Connor came there, she used to walk down the steps at the front door and meet him and shake hands to him and escort him in. And there was a girl working in the dairy. There was a girl working in the dairy. She did the milk, the cream, the eggs and the fowl. There was a girl in the laundry. There was a special man to bring the turf into the kitchen and the sticks. There was a cook and there was a kitchen maid. And there was a butler and a hall boy. And she had the most beautiful garden, and she used to sow sweet pea, and when the sweet pea being full bloom, the first thing she'd do was go to her basket and her scissors and bring in a basket of flowers, and the first thing she'd do is give a bunch of flowers to all the staff for their rooms. So then she grew an awful lot of fruit, strawberries, blackcurrants, raspberries and all that, and we used to pick them and we used to make the jam in the kitchen that had lasted for 12 months. And it was such a lovely place to work. Lovely, lovely. I had a great time there. Great time.
They were very good to you.
Very good, very good. She was a lovely person, lovely. And another thing, I was in the choir in Fogna when I worked in Clonbrock. Myself and the other girls, and Miss Hyland was the lady's maid. She used to play the organ in Fogna, and we were in the choir every Sunday in Fogna. No. Yeah, we were. We had our bicycles, like, now we had no other way of travelling, but when I go home, I used to come down this way home, like, you know, and always pass by Farrahers, you know Farrahers. Well, that was my halfway house. I'd go in there on my way home and I'd have a cup of tea, and I'd go in on the way back and I'd have a cup of tea. They were very nice, but of course, God rest them now, there's a lot of them gone. Yeah. But Georgia, I was very, very great with Georgia. Them all, I knew them all, like, but I always went in there and had a cup of tea, going and coming. It was my halfway house. I did.
How many years were you there?
In Clonbrock?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a long time. I forget how many now.
Yeah.
How it was. Yeah. But in the end, I had to leave. My mother got sick, and I left, and I went home to take care of her. And I stayed with her until she passed away in Balnamona. Yeah, yeah.
Did you work in the kitchen then?
No, I worked upstairs.
Upstairs
I
all the time.
Upstairs.
So that the people upstairs had different jobs.
They had different jobs.
The kitchen staff were
we
different.
for looking after the beds, you know, the beds and all that kind of thing, and hoovering and everything, you know.
Yeah, and the fires.
Yeah, and the fires. No, yeah. The fires. No, I never.
Everyone had their own job.
Everyone had their own job.
Do you remember seeing the horses and carriages?
I do. And there was a man that used to go on a horse and cart. He was John George Jenkins. He's deceased now too. He used to go to a Hasbro and bring home the provisions, you know, and he used to go to Ballinasloe. I do remember that he used to do that, yeah.
And did they have many visitors or parties? Or?
There was an awful lot of parties in it. There was a big shoot, pheasant shooting. There'd be about 40 there that day, and you'd have all them would be there for dinner. They would, all them would be there for dinner. Oh, they had a lot of visitors. Sir George now in Castlegar used to come, and Lady Mahon. Yeah, they used. And Mrs. Crofton. You know, Mrs. Crofton lived one time where Tracy Egan lived.
Oh, right, yeah.
She did.
Weston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had one son,
oh, yeah.
Francis, and he got killed in a car crash out in England or someplace. But I knew her now very well too, you know, through Clonbrock. Yeah. She used to come there. Yeah. She used. So Miss Dillon, I think, then was left on her own and then with just the butler for some time. Yeah. And then she went into home in Longford. Oh. Yeah. And one day I was in the post office and I met Mrs. Crofton, and I just happened to say to her, "How is Miss Dillon?" And she said, "Oh, she's fine." She said, "She's down in Longford in a home," and she said, "Her birthday's coming up now," she said, "soon." And I said, "Would she mind if I sent her a card?" You know, yes. No, she said she'd be delighted if you sent her a card. Yes. And she told me the kind of card she liked. So I did send her a card then every birthday after that.
Lovely.
Yeah, and she used to write me back a note and thank me. She was so nice.
Do you have those letters? You do?
I don't. I lost them and I'm so sad. Yeah. But it was a lovely place to work. Right. Beautiful. It was a beautiful home. Yeah. I was so sad when it was burnt.
Yes,
Yeah, it was lovely.
It was the end of an era, all right.
Yeah.
It was the end of an era.
It was the end of an era, you know. Yeah. And they had only one son. And they used to still set his place at the table for ages. He passed away.
Oh, did he? What age was he?
He was only very young, I think, in his 30s. Oh. But they still set his place at the table for ages and ages and ages.
They were heartbroken.
They were heartbroken. Yeah, they were heartbroken.
Have you any other memories about Clonbrock?
I have, about Christmas presents Miss Dillon used to give us. She used to always give us lovely Christmas presents. She'd leave them out on a big table on Christmas Eve. And she'd always give us material to make dresses, or if you were fond of reading, she would give us books, or give us sweets, or biscuits. She was very, very good in that line. Sometimes she might put a little money into an envelope for you. She was very, very good, very good.
And they always made sure you got to church, you were saying?
Yeah, she made sure that we got to church every Sunday. And she was so proud of us to hear that we were singing in the choir in Fogna. And another thing she used to do, There was Lee Mannion. He's deceased now too. He had a brother. I think he was blind, as far as I think he was now. That mightn't be sure now about this, but I know that she invited him in every Christmas to play the organ. She had a beautiful organ in the front hall, and she invited him in every Christmas to play the organ. But that's all. I had great memories of Clonbrock, great memories, and I was so sad when I called not too long ago to see the house burned.